Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Byjus Exam Prep IAS, and welcome to the 17th February Hindu analysis. Let us look at the articles that we are going to cover today. The first article that we are going to cover is a chance to stop the laundry cycle of Pakistan's elections. So basically, this is going to take a lot of time. I'll talk about all that has happened as far as the Pakistan is concerned, and see what's going to happen in future also. Number two, the clear message in the court's note to electoral bonds. So hopefully you all would have covered yesterday's explained article series that we did on the same channel, and Anubhav sir had covered that, brilliantly covered. Each and every aspect was totally discussed, so I'm not going to discuss this, just telling you that this was one topic that was there today. Third, use Chabahar port India tells Central Asian countries. Now, though this is a very important topic for IR, becomes very important for India-Iran relations, and under this topic, India-Afghanistan relation and even India-Central Asian relations, all that would come into picture. But then we will highlight certain points and we will study those from here. Fourth, Myanmar's new law may trigger mass exodus. Now, we have discussed Myanmar many times, so we'll be discussing this in very brief manner today, but we'll see what law they have brought and what are the implications of that law, specifically on the younger generation of Myanmar. The fifth topic now is Russian opposition leader Navalny has died yesterday. Unfortunate death, very bad news coming from Russia, and we will see slightly about this man. I would say a very courageous man who had the authority to keep on standing or to keep on raising his voice against somewhat dictatorial attitude of Mr. Putin. The second last, this is your sixth topic. ED Pro finds no FEMA violations in Paytm case. Again, discussed in great length in the previous few classes. Today we are going to discuss it very briefly. What is the observation? And the last topic is RBI must prove loan to value norms, gold loan firms, they are saying. So they are saying that there are some discrepancies when it comes to the loans being offered to the people. Last, what is there for prelims? Torpedoes, refueller aircraft in new deals cleared by DAC. So we shall see here a type of, or I would say that what all are our wish list, and slightly one special, I would say, weapon we'll be discussing here. Let us begin with the first topic. Everyone, Suhasini Haider writes in page number 13, IR, an editorial that is a chance to stop the laundry cycle of Pakistan's election. And on page number, this was on page 8. On page 13, there is army cracks down on leaders of Imran's PTI party in Pakistan. Now, the observations about this is written here, and observations of Suhasini Haider with regards to Pakistan is that in the almost last 75 years of Pakistan's history, none of their 30 prime ministers have completed their full term in office. Presently, three major contenders are there. One is Nawaz Sharif, and his party is Pakistan Muslim League. The second one is party of Bhuttos, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, Benazir Bhutto, and now the husband of Benazir Bhutto, Benazir Bhutto's husband and his son, they are leading this party. Asif Ali Zardari, her husband, and Bilawal Bhutto, her son, is leading this party. And the third one is Imran Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, that is your PTI. Now, in this article, Madam will be telling all these parties at some time has been a favorite of the Pakistani army, in their term, Ladla of the establishment. And lastly, all these have also gone out of favor. All these have been imprisoned, exiled from the country. So I want to cover this in a great length, and for some time, next 20 minutes, just listen to the story of how two countries, India and Pakistan, who both got independence around the same time, differing time-wise the same, date-wise 1 day difference, 14th August, 15th August 1947. I do not have to tell you the democratic credentials of our country, how robust it has been, how finely it has worked in our country for the last more than 75 years. But compare it to our neighbor, Pakistan. Right from the start, they have had very, very big troubles in establishing democracy. So what is the problems that Pakistan faced? The first problem that they faced was they were not able to make a constitution. The other problem that they were facing was that they were not able to hold the first general elections. Now, without a constitution, without a general elections, how can Pakistan be democratic? So the two key ingredients they were missing in making a successful democracy as far as Pakistan is concerned. Now, some of you may have this query that why were these two delayed? Now, there were issues regarding national language. Of course, the whole country was formed on the basis of religion, and what role Islam would play in Pakistan, there was a question on that. And the third was, what would be distribution of power between the center as well as the provinces? So three major questions were there, and that's why this process got delayed, and constitution, that is their first constitution, only came into being in March 1956. Constitution came, but that does not mean that the problems of Pakistan had ended. In the next few years, three short-lived governments came. One was of Suhrawardi, another one was of Chundrigar, and the third one was of Firoz Khan. All three belonged to three political parties. They came to power, but the problem was there was a lot of instability. And when there is instability, very soon the power shifted from their hands to military. And the first military ruler came in Pakistan. The name is Ayub Khan. He has come to power around 1958, shut democracy, and took all the power in his hands. And because of the power going to his hand, finally, the second thing that is needed for elections only happened in 1970. Now, some of you should have a very valid question that what was the reason that power went into the hands of Ayub Khan in 58, and later there was another man named Yahya Khan, two military governors or two military rulers who had come to power in Pakistan. And the elections, the first general elections for Pakistan only came and happened in 1970. So the question or the reason for this delay was, one, only when military rule weakened, finally, general elections happened. Now, why was the military rule weakened? You all know, 1965, Pakistan lost at the hands of India. India has defeated them in the 1965 war. Number two, there is urban unrest in Western Pakistan. And number third, in the East Pakistan, present day Bangladesh, there is rise of Bengali nationalism. Bengali people who had been treated as second-grade citizens right from the onset in Pakistan, they are now fighting to get their right, to get their due. They were not given the same status as the West Punjabis were getting. Punjabis had, in Pakistan, taken over most of the military posts, most of the better positions, and in politics, in every space, talk about any space, even in cricket, their sport which they were practicing or playing the most apart from hockey, every place it was the western part of Pakistan that was dominating. Now finally came the elections. As you can see, in 1970, elections happened. Now you all know there happened a big problem for Pakistan in this election. What is the problem? Problem is, in West Pakistan, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto got 81 seats. In spite of the fact that he lost almost two provinces, Balochistan and their northwest frontier province, he had lost them, but still he got 81 seats. The later were won by the Islamic parties. On the other hand, in the East Pakistan, Awami League, that was led by Mujibur Rahman, everyone just see 160 out of 162 seats. You can see this is a landslide victory. And now it is very clear whose government will be there. The government of Bengalis led by Mujibur Rahman is going to come. Now you can understand the West Pakistanis, they thought it as a threat. They were like, how can these Bengalis, they can rule on us? And they started scheming so that the government of Mujibur Rahman does not come. And as you all know, this all led to the division of Pakistan and the creation of Bangladesh in 1971. This happened, we all know, we were a party to this war, a war that was forced upon us, led by Madam Indira Gandhi and SHFG Manekshaw. These two great people had led this particular war for us. Now, later again, after the division in Pakistan, the government of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto came. Later, Bhutto was removed by Ziaul Haq. Bhutto was even hanged and killed. Ziaul Haq became the third military dictator. At this time, the Ladlas kept on changing. Sometimes the Ladla would be Nawaz Sharif. Other time it would become Benazir Bhutto, the daughter of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. And finally, again, Nawaz Sharif was removed by the fourth dictator, that is Parvez Musharraf. You all know this much, or this is the background of the Pakistan's elections. So in the last 75 years, because of all this, almost 30 prime ministers have come and gone. None of them have completed their tenure. So this is the background of general elections as far as Pakistan is concerned. Now, please understand here, military has always played a very, very important role when it comes to Pakistan. I just showed you, they have had 4 military dictators, Ayub Khan, Yahya Khan, Ziaul Haq and Parvez Musharraf. Almost, I would say 40 to 45% of the Pakistan's independent era period has been ruled by military. And military, whenever they have wanted, they have dismissed the government, they have appointed another government, they have got the elections done, and this cycle has kept on happening. Because the number of political parties or the options are limited, so you will see the same people would be chosen, discarded and again chosen. That's why each one of you can see the topic of this is a chance to stop the laundry cycle. That is, like the bad clothes, they are put in the washing machine, cleaned and again worn. It's the same thing that is happening as far as Pakistan is concerned. And let me tell you, it's not only military who does all this. Military, of course, brings the martial law. And since 2008, they haven't taken up the government in their actual hands, but they have been ruling indirectly. But apart from military, all the government arms, including judiciary, has helped them. Judiciary has always passed such, I would say, judgments which has helped the military in dismissing the governments. If I give you some example, for example, in 2012, PPP, Pakistan People's Party, led by your Asif Ali Zardari. His government was there. Pakistan's Prime Minister was Yusuf Raza Gilani. He was dismissed for the charges of contempt of court. Why? Because he refused to open the cases against President Asif Ali Zardari. So, he was dismissed. Similarly, in 2017, it was the term of Mr. Mian Nawaz Sharif, the head of Pakistan Muslim League. His government was dismissed on the accusation of Panama paper leaks, that he had a London apartment. Even before this, there were already charges of corruption on him. Now here, let me tell you, this is nothing new for Mr. Nawaz Sharif. He was dismissed as early as 2000 also by Mr. Parvez Musharraf. So now again, if you see, just look at Nawaz Sharif. He has played this game so many times. Again, his party is a contender this time. Most probably his younger brother, Mr. Shahbaz Sharif, is going to become the Prime Minister of Pakistan for the second time. Let's look at the third player right now. Who is the third player? Mr. Imran Khan, the celebrated cricketer, 1992 World Cup winner, who with his bat symbol became very, very famous, I would say the automatic choice of the people of Pakistan with his party PTI. But then his government also was brought in 2018. There were charges, there were accusations that at that point he was the Ladla of the military. But later his government was also removed on the orders of a no confidence. Orders was given by Supreme Court and he was also removed. From there onwards, continuously in Pakistan, Imran Khan and his party is facing a lot of issues. We have discussed earlier also. Their symbol bat was confiscated. Imran Khan has been in jail for last almost 1 year. His PTI members are facing a lot of problems. Media is not showing any of the speech of PTI chairman for last almost a year. Now also when the elections on 8th February happened and apparently the independents backed by PTI party got the maximum number of seats. Again, there are reports that there is pressure on these independents to join either PPP or Pakistan Muslim League or any of the party that is favored by the military. Because in this election, PTI backed independents, they got the maximum seats, 93 out of 265 contested seats all over, or overall there are 266 seats. So now this is the story that is going on right now. Now come to the third part. Now let me tell you, I don't know how many of you watched. I remember a very good movie, entertaining movie. The movie's name was Chamatkar. In mid-90s, Shah Rukh Khan's movie had come. There Nasruddin Shah used to, make some, I would say, would be making some interferences in the match and would be making Shah Rukh Khan's team win. So here also, Election Commission is doing something like that only. Initially, Election Commission of Pakistan had suggested that a lot of independents backed by PTI were winning. But later, final tally when it came, their tallies had come down. And now, as I already said, a lot of independents are being forced to join either of the two parties, where most probably PPP and Pakistan Muslim League, that is Asif Ali Zardari and Asif Ali Zardari and Nawaz Sharif's party would come and join the government and make a government of their own, again backed by the military. But then in this article, the author also speaks about that hats off to the Pakistan voter. Pakistani voter knew that the elections are rigged from the very beginning. They knew maybe their votes would not be counted. Yet they came out in big numbers and they have participated in the election. So the author of the article now says that it would be wrong on the part of Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz and Pakistan People Party to form a government without PTI. The author is clearly saying these two parties should remember even Nawaz Sharif has spent a lot of time in jail, or they have been made to stay out of the country. Asif Ali Zardari has stayed in jail for a very long period of times. Benazir Bhutto was assassinated in Pakistan. Her father, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, was hanged. So everyone, author is saying that all these political parties, they should understand that this cycle that is being continued by the military in Pakistan is not helping anyone in Pakistan. And on top of that, the precarious position of the economy of Pakistan. Pakistan is in a very, very bad state when it comes to their economy. Any government which is going to come in power will have to take much more harsher steps in order to stabilize their economy, in order to please IMF. They will have to make severe budget cuts. They will have to go for market regulated foreign exchange. They will have to have a tight monetary policy to control inflation. All this has to be kept in mind. Last, in this, two more observations are pointed out. One, the author is saying that the Pakistani voters, they have rejected the religious parties. Religious parties like Jamaat Ulema Islam, they have been totally rejected. Not only religious parties, but the author says even the extremists, those who are violent, like Hafiz Saeed's party, Lashkar-e-Taiba chief, Hafiz Saeed, his son had formed a party, failed. So the Pakistani voters have rejected it. Other than that, they are pointing out to one more thing, one more lesson that comes for all the hybrid democracies that are operating in the world, that where they merged some of the democratic actions and the authoritative actions, is that do not take the electorate for the granted. You cannot take the voters for the granted. So basically this was the first article for the day. Now everyone, in this paper today on page 13, another article came. Army cracks down on leaders of Imran Khan's PTI. Now, some people do not want to understand, some people do not understand. Pakistani army seems to be of the same case. If Pakistani army would have seen their checkered past, they would have known that the reason why Pakistan is or was divided into two parts was mainly because of their actions. And yet, they are again doing the same things, or they have been doing the same things for majority of their time. Again, what they have done is that after the election, Imran Khan's party's leaders, they are being hounded, they are being kidnapped, they are being forced to join either of the king's party. So, as I said, Imran Khan's people were fighting as independents. First of all, a lot of them lost because of the rigging. Now, when they have fought as independents, they are being forced that join anyone. Even Imran Khan's sister, Alima Khan, has been asked by Federal Investigation Agency that come to us, you have been guilty of inciting violence. Along with that, one more thing that is very clearly visible is that the big leaders of Pakistan's Imran Khan's party, those whom they had selected for the position of Prime Minister or Chief Minister, against them warrants have been issued. For example, there is a leader named as Aslam Iqbal. He is their candidate for Punjab's Chief Minister. So, warrants are being issued against him. So, there is a lot of such things happening, and, with regards to Pakistan, I'm not really sure whether to be happy or whether to be sad about these things that are going on. With the people of Pakistan, absolutely all the compassion. We can understand they are merely the pawns in the game being played by their military. And let's see what happens. A lot of this has to be seen in future also. Now, all of you, Moving to the second topic of the day, page 8, the clear message in the court's note to electoral bonds. And let me tell you, I'm not touching this article. Anyone who would have seen yesterday at 7 p.m. on the same channel, go and watch the lecture done by Anubhav sir, where he had explained everything with regards to the electoral bonds. A fabulous lecture. Please go through that, look at that, and trust me, if you watch that one particular episode, one particular lecture, you would not have any problems with regards to any questions on electoral bonds. That's my promise to you. Please go through that lecture. That is something that's a homework for you if you have not watched it. If you have watched it, it's great. And by that, I remember, always do like, subscribe, comment on the articles that we are covering. Last but not the least, why not a question with which I can start? Who was the first Prime Minister of Pakistan? Anyone? Mention that in the comment box. Let me see how many of you are able to mention the correct name. Come to the third topic. Use Chabahar port, India tells Central Asian countries. Now, let me tell you, in this article, one thing is, we are saying everyone use this port. Very old thing. Second thing is, in this article, there is also things regarding India-Afghanistan relation with regards to Taliban. Of course, the name of Bishkek also comes, the capital of Kyrgyzstan. So, the talk here will be about India-Iran relation, specifically with regards to Chabahar port, India-Afghanistan relations with regards to Taliban, and I'll give you one more question on this. So, coming to this, first of all, everyone, you can all see, this is your Kyrgyzstan, one of the Central Asian countries, and its capital is Bishkek. Now, my second question to you is regarding geography through map. All of you, hopefully you understand the concept of doubly landlocked countries. Doubly landlocked countries are, for example, if this is a country which is surrounded by these 4 countries and all of them are already landlocked. That is, all these 4 countries, 1, 2, 3, 4, have no connections to sea. There is no, outlet to sea or ocean. So this country 5 becomes doubly landlocked country. So my first question is, how many such doubly landlocked countries are in the world? Options are 0, 1, 2, 3. If your answer is 0, of course you don't have to give any reply, any name. If your option is 1, tell me which is that country. If you say 2, tell me the 2 names. And if you say 3, tell me the 3 names. So, my question with regards to GTM here is doubly landlocked countries. If you move ahead, the second part is Chabahar airport. You can see here, India and with us, how we are trying to connect through all these Central Asian countries. I'm sorry. Afghanistan, Iran, your Turkey, and going to Europe. So there are rail corridors, north-south transport corridor, ports, all that. So in this, the first topic is about Chabahar port. Remember, very, very important, and from here I will be writing Chabahar like CB. Where is it located? In Iran, on the southeast coast. This is the only oceanic port as far as Iran is concerned, and is in their Sistan province on the Makran coast. Now, Iran had offered us to develop this, and we had accepted this particular offer. We said, yes, we will develop this Chabahar port. Now, what is happening is that this port is very, very important from the viewpoint of India. Why is it very important? Because you can see, as the maps clearly show, it provides us as an alternate route to reach Afghanistan bypassing Pakistan. We can bypass Pakistan and reach Afghanistan through this. So this helps us in trade with Afghanistan and even beyond. Why beyond? Because it also helps in India-Iran relation. It will boost India's access to Iran, which is the key gateway to the north-south transport corridor. You all must have studied a corridor having sea, rail, road, all the three initiatives or all the three ways to connect India to Iran, to Russia, to Central Asia, and of course, Europe. You can understand if you have Chabahar ports access, it helps you give economic benefits because we get linked to Central Asian countries. We just now talked about Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan. We get economic benefits. Our trade, our investments would go up and will lead to economic growth, will lead to job creation, all that. Of course, our relations with Afghanistan or all these countries has always been strategic, but apart from that, it has also been that we have always tried to help them from a humanitarian point of view, specifically Afghanistan, so we can provide a lot of humanitarian assistance, aid, support could be given. I've already said it has got its strategic influence also. So this is the idea that in this article, they have not talked about these, but I'm telling you, keep in mind about Chabahar. Now, come to this again. In Bishkek, there was a 6th regional dialogue of secretaries. And in this, another aspect that was talked from our side, our Deputy National Security Advisor had gone, where we said that government of India is having some sort of talks with Afghanistan that is presently Taliban ruled. Now remember everyone very clearly, India has not recognized Taliban. Even though if you look, it's almost 2.5 years. August 2021, Taliban had come to power. US had left and Mr. Ashraf Ghani at night had left Afghanistan and the Afghanistani army was defeated very easily by Taliban. Now, from there onwards, we have had almost no recognition. But we have kept a technical team at Kabul, which has been holding talks with Taliban's foreign ministers. Now, in the last month in January, last I think 30th or 31st January, there was a news article that India's participation or India's technical team's participation had raised a lot of eyebrows. And that point also, Ministry of External Affairs had clearly said that India has a relation with the Afghan people. And Indian diplomats, they have been engaging with Taliban on various fronts. So now, let me tell you, that discussion had happened in Afghanistan where a regional cooperation initiative was organized by Afghanistan, and Afghanistan had invited 12 countries, 12 leading stakeholders here. Now, all of you, you can easily guess Turkey, Russia, China, Iran, Pakistan, these countries were invited apart from the Central Asian countries. Central Asian countries are, I named them few minutes back, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan. Apart from these, you can see 5 for Afghanistan themselves were present. India was invited, and one country which has got no, I would say borders or nothing close also to Afghanistan, that was Indonesia. So these 12 countries had been invited and India also participated here. Now, please understand, Taliban of late is trying to have a better ties with multiple capitals, and that's why with regards to, let me tell you, China, they have also exchanged envoys. Now, Ministry of External Affairs has not clarified whether India would also like to have an envoy, whether we would like to have a diplomatic relations directly with Afghanistan or not. But clearly, there seems to be some sort of talks going on. And of course, the government will take the best step when it comes to India and its ties with Afghanistan, taking in mind how to best help the Afghanistan people with whom we have had relations for centuries. Moving ahead, let us come to another neighbor, Myanmar. Another law that the Myanmar's government has brought is regarding compulsory male citizens joining the armed forces. What is this called? Conscription. Anyone who does not understand conscription is basically a state mandated enlistment of people in any national service. Usually this national service is military. That is, everyone, Myanmar is asking that everyone between the age of 18 to 35 definitely should join the military, because you all know military is continuously in Myanmar fighting against the insurgents. And the insurgents like Arakan army, they have won many battles against the military. Now the trouble is, once you impose this conscription, which is a very old concept, this is not new. If you talk about even during the times of French Revolution and all, conscription was seen. So at this moment, if conscription is imposed, one of the troubles that people are feeling is that the young citizens of Myanmar, they would start moving out of the country. They would start moving in the neighborhood, like let's say Thailand. Already in the past, we have seen that a lot of soldiers from Myanmar have trickled into India as well as Bangladesh. They have come to our country, they have sought refuge. So please remember, this is a very tricky situation, because these people will come in our areas and invariably this affects us also. So any law that is coming in Myanmar or any of our neighbors definitely has the potential to have an impact on us. You all would remember they have also done air sorties to retrieve their soldiers from Mizoram. We have studied this in the past few days. Moving ahead, let's move to the next topic. Why is this not working? Just give me a second. My next topic is, in international relations, a sad news is coming from Russia, where the Russian opposition leader Navalny has died. Now please understand, he died in a jail at a place called Kharp. Now let me show you where is Kharp. If you all see, if this is the map of Russia, here is your Moscow. Let me take a black pen. This is your Moscow, here is your St. Petersburg. These are the parts of your Western Russia that comes in Europe. And this is the side of your Arctic. And Kharp is here, which is way above the Arctic Circle. So almost 1900 kilometers northeast of Moscow. Mr. Navalny has died. Now the accusation is that he has not died, but rather he has been killed. Now if some of you are having this doubt, why is he killed? Let me tell you, right from 2011 and even before that, he has been fighting against the government of Vladimir Putin, whom he is accusing that it's an authoritative government. And in 2011, in a radio interview, he had called Putin's party of crooks and thieves. Now, he fought some elections for Moscow's mayor and all. He lost all that. We are not getting into this. But Mr. Navalny was very much in news in 2020 when he was hospitalized because he was poisoned by a nerve agent. Nerve agent's name was Novikov. This was the nerve agent by which he was poisoned. Now, please remember, this nerve agent is basically a military grade nerve agent which was developed by former Soviet Union. At that time, he was taken out of the country. He was treated in Germany, and then, from Berlin, he had come back, and after coming back, he had been imposed many jail sanctions, was continuously in jail, had been given such long tenures in jail that he had clearly said that these, either I would die, that is, either his life will end, or the life of political regime would end, but he would never come out of the jail. Unfortunately, the fact is, yesterday he died. The problem with this, why we should remember is his name, just remember it. This is something that the authoritative regimes keep on doing. And there should always be a fight that should keep on going against these sort of authoritarian regimes. Just a second, spelling is wrong, so make okay. I'm sorry. Authoritarianist government. I may be wrong, but I think in future, trust me, remember this day, maybe he would be given some big awards like Nobel Prize and all for the sort of continuous fight that he has continued against Mr. Putin. Politically the fight had been continued by him. Moving ahead, now this is an old article. This month we have covered it 2 times, Paytm crisis. The only good news that has come for Paytm is that RBI, which had issued on January 31 a circular where they said that PPBL, the bank should not be taking any further credit transactions, and they had said that 29th February is the limit. That has been extended. Deadline has been extended till March 15th. Now, under this, the Enforcement Directorate had examined around 50 lakh wallet or accounts, and they were mostly the small deposits, and they did not find any foreign rule extravention. So that's a good news that has come from this. So first news is that is till March 15, you can, give the money for your FASTags, wallets, National Common Mobility cards and all. Earlier deadline 29th February, now the deadline is 15th March. And the other good news is EU has not got, ED, Enforcement Directorate, has not got any violations when it comes to FEMA or money laundering as far as the Paytm case is concerned. That's a very small article. Another very small article on page 14, Economy, GS paper 3. Now, what has happened is that RBI must probe loan to value norms, gold loan firms. What they are saying is that continuously, gold loan companies, they are saying that the banks, they have been violating this rule. What is the rule? That is only up to 17% loan to value. That is, if your gold is of 100 rupees and you are keeping the gold as collateral, you should get only a loan of 75 rupees. During the time of COVID, the RBI, because they understood that people are in desperate times, so they increased this thing to almost 90%. 75% had been exceeded to 90% during the COVID to mitigate the impact of COVID-19. But after that, this had a date that by March 2021, this should be ended. But the companies, the Association of Gold Loan Companies, they are saying that this is being violated even now. So, again, not that important topic, but then remember this, that this has come in the backdrop of banks continuing to give LTV, that is loan to value, which was exceeded to 90% between August 6th, 2020 till March 31st, 2021, and this is being continued even today, which is wrong. Now, anyone who does not understand LTV, it indicates the maximum amount that one can get as a secured loan based on existing market value of the asset, which is pledged as collateral. So in this case, maybe the gold jewelry that you have would be given as a collateral, and on that you could get 75%, which was exceeded to 90% during COVID. Again, the problem is that the banks have been lending to the extent of 80 to 90, which is a violation. Apart from that, there is another problem that customers who do not do agricultural activity, they are also getting agricultural loans. Why is this being done by the banks? Because this gives them the benefit of priority sector lending classification, and recovery in case of a default becomes much more easier. So around 2022, that is March 2022, almost 5,09,000 crores of gold loans had been given in our country, out of which 78% was given by the bank, 22% was given by the NBFCs. So this is a data. If you want to remember, you can remember it. Last topic for the day, and that is on page 12. Again, Torpedoes, refueller aircraft in new deals cleared by DAC. DAC stands for Defense Acquisition Council. Almost deals are worth 85,000 crores. Under this, heavyweight torpedoes, refueller aircrafts, Navy Scorpion class submarines where they would be used. So all these torpedoes are being ordered. Apart from this, they are also going to procure HWT, that is heavyweight torpedoes, for the Calvary class submarines. Now, I have got nothing to teach because this is only an order. When this will be procured, again news articles would come, and you don't have to remember all this. I'm only worried about this one word. What exactly is this INS Calvary, and how is it important for our Navy? For prelims, do you remember? Anyone? What is this word? Why this name was given to this? If anyone knows, please jot it down. Please comment. If you don't know, please remember, it is named after a dreaded tiger shark, a deep sea predator that's found in Indian Ocean. Now, this INS Calvary has been designed by French Naval Defense, and in India, it was built by Mazgaon Dock Limited as a part of Navy's ambitious Project 75. So clearly remember, this is with the collaboration of the French. So do remember it in the Indo-French ties. Now this is one of the 6 Scorpion class submarines that are being made in our country, having a range of almost 12,000 kilometers when surfaced, and over 1,000 kilometers when totally submerged. So they can carry 18 heavyweight torpedoes made up of 2 layers of steel, very, very, tough and extremely safe against the enemy attacks. So that was all about INS Calvary. You can see this is the image of this INS Calvary submarines. The 2 questions for the day: discuss the pros and cons of the electoral bond schemes, critically analyze. I should have written the critically analyze word. Critically analyze this in 150 words. Yesterday you have studied. Those who have not gone through that, please go and look into this lecture. The second one is the internal political journey of India and Pakistan in the last 75 years is as different as chalk and cheese. Comment 250 words. Focus on what has all happened in Pakistan. With that, our today's discussion is over. There were a few important topics. One important topic I have left because yesterday almost an hour discussion was done on that topic. Please go through that also. And you all know today we are having the mega workshop where we will be telling you how to prepare for the last 100 days as far as UPSC is concerned, UPSC 2024 is concerned. With that, thank you, goodbye. Let us meet again, same time, same channel in another session tomorrow. If you like the lecture, do like it, subscribe it, and definitely comment. Comment on the questions asked and comment on how did you find the lecture. That's all. Thank you. Goodbye.